Hi, welcome everyone. So, in this series of videos, we are going to learn how to write the programs for ARM7 device using this Keel Microvision software. So, in this video, we are going to learn the steps for writing any program for ARM7. So, this is useful for microcontroller and embedded system lab for the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Myself, Muhammad Ali, I am working as an assistant professor at Mysuru Royal Institute of Technology, Mandya. So, as we know that to write any program for ARM devices, we need this Keel Microvision software. So, we have seen this Keel Microvision software installation in our previous video. So, we'll open this Keel Microvision. So, we'll get a blank window, or else if we have previously done any project, that project will be opened. So to write a program, first we need to create a project. So this project is created. So the first step is we need to select this project menu, and we need to click on this new microvision project. So it will open a wizard so that we can create a project. So I will create a project on my desktop, so that I will select a desktop first. So here I will take a new folder. So right click on this, go to new. So I'll create a folder, new folder. So I'll give a name, any names. I will give a name as ABC here. Right. So in this ABC folder, I will double click on that folder and we'll get into that ABC folder. So I will give a project name. So first we'll give a project name. So I'm writing a code for a simple addition program. So that's why we'll write ADDITION addition as a project name, and we'll save this a project name. So now we need to know for which device we are writing the program. So as I told, we are writing a program for ARM7 devices. So ARM7 device can be from different manufacturers. So as we know that ARM is only gives the IP. So the other manufacturers takes that IP and build this microprocessor or microcontrollers. So we are using, as we have a hardware programs also, that's why we are using LPC 2148. That is from NXP device. NXP company. So we have a LPC 2148. It is a ARM7 based 32-bit RISC microcontroller. So we have all the details of this LPC 2148. So you can go through that to find the more details of this ARM7 LPC 2148. So we'll select this LPC 2148 as our target device. So once we have selected this device, so it will ask to add any startup file. So for now we don't need any startup file, so we'll click on no. So you can observe here we have created a target. So our target is LPC 2148. So in that target we have a source group. So we have some source programs, so we need to write that programs, though that programs here we need to add. So to write the program we need a blank file. So we'll go on to file and select this new. So here it creates a blank editor window. So here we need to write our program. So this program file, text one file, will save it as assembly language file. So we are writing a program in assembly language, that's why we need save it as assembly language. So we'll go to file and click on save. So we'll save the file on the same folder, that is on desktop ABC folder itself. So I'll give a file name So we can give a same file name or we can give a different file name. So I will give as a name for the project addition.asm. So here the extension is .asm, that refers to assembly language file. Right, so we'll click on save. So you can see here our text one file was replaced with addition.asm. So now we need to add this file addition.asm to our source group. So we'll right click on the source group and click on add existing file. So we need to select our folder. So our folder was in desktop and ABC is our folder. So now we cannot see any files here because we here type of file type is selected as C source. So now here we need to select ASM source, so that we can see here .asm file, assembly language file. So we'll select this and click on add. So then once we have added, we'll close this. So we can see here in our source group, we have added our addition.asm file. Right. So now we'll start writing the program. So in the program, to write any program, we need some memory. So usually the program is written in program memory, or else we'll call it as a code memory. So we need to define a code memory, and this code memory is of memory ROM, that is read only memory. So here we need to define a area which is of code memory, and it is a read only memory. So we need to give a area name also. So to define that area, we'll write area space. So we'll give a area name. So we'll give a area name as addition. So now we need to define what type of area we are defining, code memory. So that's why I have written code. So next we will write, so it is which type of memory we are using, read only. So that's why I will write read only memory. Right. So in the next line, we'll start writing the program. So the program starts with a label. So we can write a label start. Right. So in the next line, we'll start writing the program. So here the program what we are writing is for addition. So let us take, we have two values in two registers. So we need to add these two registers and we need to store it in some other register. So let us take we have two register values, will load a constant value to a register. So we'll write instruction LDR space. So I will take R0 as a register and I will save a value, constant value, a hexadecimal value 0x1234. This instruction LDR R0 comma is equal to 0x1234 is we are loading a constant value 1234, that is hexadecimal value, to our register R0. Next we'll take one more register, that is we'll load a constant to R1 register. So same, so we'll take another value like 2345. So we'll take 2345 in R1. Right. So now we'll write a addition instruction so that we can add R0 and R1. So I will write add instruction and I will save the result in R2 register and I am adding R0 and R1. So this is how we'll write a addition instruction, add R2 comma R0 comma R1. So R0 and R1 is added and the result will be stored in R2. Before writing an end instruction, I will write a no op instruction which performs nothing, so no operation, so it doesn't do anything. After no op, I will end the program by writing this end directive. right? So here one thing we need to remember here is, that is this area and instructions, all the instructions should be written after a tab. It should be written after a tab. So once again we'll save this. So this start is not an instruction, it is just a label. So label should be written without any space or a tab. So all other thing, that is a directive or instructions, we need to write after a tab. So we'll save this and we'll build this program to see whether we have any errors or not. So we don't have this build window. So to see this build window, we'll click on window menu and we'll select this reset view to default, so that we can see our build window here on the down, right? So we'll build this by clicking on this build option icon we have. So or else we can go to project and we can select this build target. So we'll select this and we'll build our program. So here it will check for any errors present what we have written in our program. So here we can see that we don't have any errors. So we have 0 errors and 0 warnings. So now we need to debug our program, so that whatever we have written the program, whether we are getting the same result or not. So to see that, we'll start debug. So this start and stop debug option icon we have here, so we can click on that, or else we can go to debug menu and click on this start or stop debug session. So it will be asked for run a code with limited size 32 kb. That is, we have installed evaluation version, that is student version. That's why we have some limitation. So this is that limitation. We need to write the code within 32 kilobytes of memory. So we'll click on OK. So it will open a debug windows. So here we have different windows. So we can see here on the left we have a register window. So we know that in ARM7 we have registers R0, R2, R1, R2, R3, like up to R15, R13, R14, R15, RSP, LR and PC respectively. Similarly, we have CPSR and SPSR, that is current program status register and save program status register. So all these registers of size 32-bit. So we'll drag this so that we can see what is the value in R0, R1, R2 and all the other registers. So here we can see our program. So this program is on the top disassembly window. We have hex code for that program, and we can see here 2 arrow marks that represents we need to execute this instruction. So if the arrow mark is pointing to the next instruction, so it tells that we are executing the next instruction, that is second instruction. First instruction is what? LDR R0, 0x1234. That is, we are sending a value 1234 to our register R0, constant value to our register R0. So what is the value we have in R0? 0, all zeros. So now we are sending some value, that is 1234. So to send that, to debug this, so we'll debug step by step. So we'll execute one instruction at a time and we'll see how it works. Right. So I will press this, I will click on this icon, that is step execution. So once I press this, we can see, you can see here that R0 value is loaded with a new value, that is 1234. So now which instruction is executing? That is at line 4 LDR R1, or 2345. So if I press once again step, so we can see here we have R1 is equal to 2345. So now next instruction is what? So we have a addition instruction. So it will add two values R0 and R1 and the result is stored in R2. So we know that 5 plus 4 is 9, 4 plus 3 is 7, 3 plus 2 is 5, 2 plus 1 is 3. So we'll get the answer this. So we'll see by clicking on this step. We have added these two values R0 and R1 and the result is stored in R2. So like this we can use a memory and we can use different peripherals. So we'll learn this using of memory and other peripherals. So when we'll go to our new programs, right? So if I want to change the value, so here only I can change, but it will not reflect. So that's why, so I need to end this stop this debug session. So we'll click on this start or stop debug session. So we'll stop this value session and we can change any value here. So I will take 5678 as a new value. So we'll add 5678 and 2345. So once I have changed the program, so we need to save the program. Again we need to build the program. So if we have not built this program, it will take our previous values only. So if I have changed something in the program, we need to rebuild or build this target. So we need to check here whether we have any errors or not. So we have 0 errors and 0 warnings, so we can proceed further. So here we'll click on start or stop debug session. So we'll start this debug session. So and now we'll run this program step by step. So first instruction we have a value 5678 in R0. Second instruction R1 we have 2345, and a third instruction is adding two values. So we'll add these two values 5678 and 2345 and we'll have the result 579BD. So this addition is performed in hexadecimal values. So in our further programs we'll see how to use memory and different registers, and we can see our CPSR values, flag values and all. So this is just to know the steps. So after once we have debugged and run the program, so we can exit, we can stop our debug session. So we'll see other programs what we have in our syllabus in our next video session. Thank you.